difficult for SCARZ, and I actually am very curious for this map why the new ban system. Yeah, Skyscraper is the kind of map that if you ban out a certain couple of operators, you could make it very difficult for either the attack or the defense, but I think more importantly, the attack.
Yeah, I mean, naturally, one of the most unforgiving maps on attack, given the nature of Skyscraper and its structure. It's so difficult to get map control. Big prevalence on window entries, hard breach is a challenge at times, and so we'll see how many teething issues SCARZ have in this matchup. Again, to reiterate, in that 1-7 loss against Wildcard, where they started out on attack, they won 4 of 6 entries. So the early round for them was actually quite solid on a map where map control maybe perhaps can come a little bit easier. Skyscraper, they may not be that case, and I think Fnatic were definitely going to go with the approach of probably looking to bunker down, playing that utility, not give away anything for free. And again, going in with the expectation or the hope that they can have a dominant victory here today. Gunning for that 7-0 for those perhaps unaware. There is a passive card on the table. If you are able to get that flawless dub, you do get an additional couple of bullets, which will really kickstart them for the last couple of days, right?
Yeah, and speaking of the bullets as well, both teams putting up 2, which I think is the right mindset that you have to have if you are SCARZ, because naturally, the way that I look at this bullet system, it's almost like a game of chicken. Like, if you only put the 1 up, you're almost mentally conceding defeat before the match has even started. I know it's really just about minimizing the risk, but for me, it's like if I was going into it saying, okay, we're only going to put up 1 bullet and we're playing Fnatic, it's like, well, are we really backing ourselves in? That to me already is like pre-match already saying, we do not back ourselves to beat this team. So for SCARZ, you've got to obviously put the 2 bullets on the line and say, yeah, we're going to give ourselves the best opportunity to win this match. But it does mean, of course, the higher the reward, or the higher the risk. SCARZ attacking first, and obviously we saw yesterday and all the APAC teams struggling on the attack, and trust me, on this map as well, like you thought attacking on Chalet for APAC teams was tricky. Skyscraper can be virtually almost impossible, and DPAC opens up the account in the way in which you kind of framed it before, Guz. Fnatic are here to demolish SCARZ. It's an early peak, it's an early kill, it's a great start, you get rid of Wreck, and again, for SCARZ attacking on this map, now down already a player, and your systems are already out of whack. You're losing so much utility from that striker. That's the whole point of the striker, is that utility and what it brings to these rounds. Not a good start for SCARZ.
I wasn't entirely sure where Fnatic going to double down and bunker down a turtle and really force the clear, or perhaps maybe get in their face and aggress, try to find the entry and then double down from that. Appears to be the latter thus far, at least in the opening round. With Wreck falling, as you mentioned, it is going to make life increasingly challenging here for SCARZ, who have lacked confidence on attack at this event in the limited play time that we have seen thus far. Utility dump here from Fishlake, as Groovy elsewhere finds a second. So Agator's utility proving to be unimpactful. And from this point onwards, very much a Fnatic round to lose.
I've already written it down 1-0.
You already written it down?
Yeah. 90 seconds left, 5v3. You don't have the Capital anymore, so the dislodge potential in terms of on-site positions is, well, down to basically just Fishlake on the Ying, who has no Candela, so no, never mind. They have nothing left. Besides, they have literally nothing yet. They've got no Grimpies, they've got no Ying, and well, the Ying is now dead anyway, courtesy of Jax here. This is the perfect start for Fnatic, right? And if you go into a match with that mindset that you mentioned from talking to Sathers, where we want to 7-0 this, you got to back it up in the server, and the rounds themselves need to be dominant. Yeah. And this is a tremendous start for Fnatic, and there's a couple of reasons why, but the main one I kind of want to get to is that they are aggressive here on the defense. Skyscraper is the kind of map, it's very easy to just sit back, play sight, force them to have to clear, peel back that defense, force them back from choke point to choke point. But Fnatic just said, we're going to go straight at them immediately. Started with DPEC with the spawn kill, and the rest started to follow suit. That is a very, very good start from Fnatic. You can always kind of look at it and say, well, they're just playing SCARZ, it's just 1 round, but you can only play what's in front of you, and you can only play the 1 round that you've played. But that was perfect for Fnatic. Play like that, and they very well could get 7-0.
Yeah, I mean, when Sathas mentioned it to me this morning, I kind of raised an eyebrow a little bit, right? Like, I do expect Fnatic to do well today and to win the match, but a 7-0 never really crossed my...
Hey, shoot for the stars, you may land on the moon.
It's not bad from you. I know you didn't create that line, but there's the context. Yeah, I mean, it's worth being ambitious.
It's the right mindset, right? It's the mindset.
I mean, he wasn't like saying it in a way that was like overconfident or cocky or anything. They were just, you know, confident in their ability.
I think it's just about setting a goal, right? And the expectation of the match for them as a team is like, from coach to players, players to coach, that we want to win this, and we want to win this quite significantly. If it ends up being a 7-1 or a 7-2, it's not as if I kind of got to walk away and be like, damn, we didn't get the flawless.
Well, SCARZ were on the receiving end of the most dominant scoreline in day one. That's 7-1. We didn't see a 7-0 yesterday. So there's every world in which we could potentially see that.
And Wildcard backing up as well today against Falcons and being competitive in that match. No idea if it's even restarted or what's going on there anymore.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Wildcard looked good. I think last I checked it, they're still on the pause. Oh no, they're back in. They're back in.
They're back in.
Yeah.
I was actually getting to the point where I was thinking maybe we might end up finishing the Fnatic SCARZ game before the Falcons Wildcard game on the A stream would finish, but
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, really good start from Fnatic. As much as I've praised that opening round, you can't play like that every round. Because then it becomes too predictable for SCARZ. They'll be ready for it. They'll watch the jump outs. They'll be a little bit more hesitant when they're pushing into the building, etc. They'll wait for Fnatic to kind of come to them, and then you look to punish off that. So this is where Fnatic need to make sure they're very versatile on the defensive Skyscraper. Sometimes you sit back, sometimes you push, sometimes you allow them to take position, but then you go for the counter-attack. And Groovy very much will be looking for a bit of a response today after not the greatest start on the new roster. Really was impressed with Jaxu though. 2 Nitro Cells available. Groovy had his in hand. But you can already see there's 0 map control for SCARZ right now. Skyscraper is just, it always feels like a battle of a couple of parts. The main one, can you get into the building?
Yeah, not really any fault of SCARZ, to be fair. Really just the structure of the map. Util dump over towards Terrace.
Yeah, that's a good swing from Sarks. I mean, that's good timing. Here's the repel, gets the sound cue. Groovy did lose his life. 1 for 1.
Pretty good trade, though. Mute for Thermite.
That's a big pick, though, for Gator and SCARZ. Needed that because all the momentum early on has been with Fnatic, and for a very brief moment now, SCARZ have actually got some themselves.
Well, we've hyped up the 7-0. I tell you what, if they throw it in round 2...
Yeah, that's the mini game to follow through here for Fnatic. You've set the tone early. You've got to back it up inside of the server. First round was great. So far, second round, well, SCARZ have got themselves into a better position. Close contact here for Rek, and he's able to find that kill through the bridge. And Jegs completely just caught napping there. I mean, that's just 0 awareness. Did get a trade back, though. Makes it a 2-on-3, and already that 7-0 that Fnatic wanted under threat. 30 seconds into the second round. Down to Sarks and Jaxu.
30 seconds then on the clock. Can SCARZ break this down? They have a decent amount of utility available from Gator to try and flush out these positions, try to gain info.
And I don't think Jaxu and Sarks can really play off of each other here. Got to play for them for their own lives. Into red time. Good headshot from Sarks, and Jaxu able to do exactly the same. Leaves only Fishlike remaining. Jaxu continuing his good work from yesterday. Fnatic able to just get through that round. A little sigh of relief there if you say this, and a couple of pats on the back, and yeah, better. But you know what? It's 2 distinctively different rounds. Fnatic in the first round, flawless, amazing, did everything perfect. Second round, got tested, but they dealt with that test pretty comprehensively towards the end. SCARZ unable to break through the defense of Fnatic through the opening 2 rounds.
Yeah, Grim with a stack of utility there in the late round, but didn't really land its mark. It didn't spot anything out, didn't zone much, I don't believe, either. And so those remaining defenders from Fnatic able to sit in the back line, comfortable positions. And with time dwindling, SCARZ forced the brute force, sprint in, gun down, making life rather comfortable in the end there for Fnatic in a round that certainly was more dicey than the opener. Tertiary, though, now in play. This is where the defense naturally on any map will be tested arguably the most, none more so really here on Skyscraper, an objective that is significantly more difficult to defend than the other 2.
Yeah, and I think with the Montang ban as well, SCARZ are not going to be able to bully like the Black Stairs position on the top floor where you want to get that vert when it comes to barbecue and kitchen. So I think that's something SCARZ are going to have to deal with. They don't bring a blitz, which you kind of could if you wanted to. You want to get that Tea Room karaoke control. Not too sure whether or not the Kaid in the Izami affects this particular side as much, but the Izami is a significant ban, of course, for the defenders. I feel like Fnatic, though, are going to continue to play in a fashion where they're going to poke and prod at certain times. Now, it might be a little slow for them defensively in the first 40, 50 seconds, and then they'll go mid-round, see if they can get a pick. Right now, it's just that onion defense, peel back. Yeah, you put up a front position on one side of the map. And then continue to just force their way back slowly towards Tier and Karaoke. Deepak will be one to watch on the Solus though.
Yeah, you can continue to lurk on this bot floor, try to deal with utility. Believe that's both shock drones now dealt with. So defensively, that's quite a large win. Helps protect some of the remaining util. Bandit batteries, mid jammers, alamines to an extent as well.
Well, information is going to be key on a site like this. When it's a kind of multi-layered floor. And down to 5 drones remaining. A little bit of posturing out the window. Again, I think SCARZ are sensing, okay, it's that 90-second mark. We're probably expecting Fnatic to want to try and do something here. And go for a peek, go for a swing. Be aggressive. Hold towards the mezzanine. SCARZ, just posturers.
Ooh.
And a Nitrosol does come flying on through from Groovy. Jake's now on a bit of an island here after losing that deployable shield. Can't just make a free cross back because of that doorway. May need some help. Groovy may be offering some, but Washoy does win that battle. And Jake's eventually on that island will fall, and SCARZ have made their way through drums. There's a kill. Yes, indeed. It's a freebie for SCARZ, but couldn't actually get the kill. But hey, there's one down below. How about that? 1.5 basically. Washoy down for the count. Could get the revive, but surely SCARZ should finish the job from below. May even find himself a third. But no, only the flush. There was one there over towards drum. That's fished like half health. And just again, when it feels like SCARZ are getting themselves in the rounds, there's an answer back from Fnatic.
And provided Fnatic don't expose themselves to Vert, they are in a strong position to be able to lock out this round, pending SCARZ finding an opening. Probably most likely horizontally, but a lack of info here could prove costly, and they're 2 drones up. I doubt they've got much of a read.
You got the full top control, but nothing in terms of first floor. As you said, nothing horizontal, nothing in terms of a pinch. And even as soon as you make a step towards that hatch, it's being watched. You now know that the hatch drop is no longer a viable option. Aya Gator in a great position towards bar. Yeah, there's nothing that SCARZ can do now. So as soon as there's a bit of contact made on that hatch, it's like, we can't hatch drop now. It's being watched. If we all just kind of double drop together, we're just going to die. And then at that point, Sushi Stairs is being watched as well. So now, where's your rotate path to site? You've got top floor, you fought for that, it's a 3v3, but there's 20 seconds left. Now what do we do? And that's the issue there for SCARZ. Really, really well played from Fnatic. You couldn't have probably started better in this match. It's a swift 3-0 to begin and into the next ban phase.
SCARZ as well with 4K in that round, so shout out to him. Did a good job to open things up, provide support in the mid to late round as well. Probably a little bit fortunate with the drop down to find that pick onto, I think it was Wreck, but nonetheless a solid performance. Additional bans come through, Ace Mirror respectively, not really standing out as being particularly unusual. Tactical timeout called then from SCARZ. Looking to recover in the back half of their attack after seeing these initial setups from Fnatic. Haven't been particularly inspired though. Arguably close in that second round, but Fnatic in the backline were strong over towards Office. Rounds 1 and 3 though, rather one-sided towards the Europeans.
Well, there's spoilers on the A stream as well. I'll give you 5 seconds. Down to 3, 2, and then 1. But Burrito's just pulled off a 1v3 clutch to get themselves match point against Wildcard. Huge round from Burrito on the A stream. Just in case, of course, there's some viewers that maybe switched over to B stream because of the tech delays, weren't aware, etc. But yeah, the A stream game looks like that's potentially coming to an end. May end up being a hard fought.
I mean, if Fnatic keeps speedrunning this, we still might beat them. What's the score then?
3-0. Well, it's 6-4. Sorry, 6-3, I think, over there.
We could beat them.
Need Wildcard to bring it back a little bit. But
Wildcard bring it back. OAT. Fnatic goes 7-0. Could be close.
Need SCARZ though to find a better way to execute late in these rounds. I think obviously the first round you kind of just scrap it. It's just a non-factor, completely flawless. They did nothing. Second round, third round. Little bit better in the early and middle portions of the round, but the late round execution just wasn't there. It was a 2v3 in favor of SCARZ in the second round, lost it. 3v3 in the third round, lost it. So they've started to get themselves into better positions and take some of these fights more favorably. But when it comes down to the site itself, they haven't looked close.
The multi-kills as well, killing SCARZ. SCARZ at the 4K round 3, Jaxu a 3K in round 2. I mean, it was a flawless round to open things up as well for Fnatic. So,
but this is the start that Fnatic would have wanted, because it's one thing to... Oh, that's a wonderful Nitrocell from Jaxu on to Choppy, who had no idea. Quite literally, as soon as he turns the corner, there's a Nitrocell already in his face. He knows he's dead the minute he sees it, and it blows up right on him. And that is a Thermite that I do not believe actually got VIP wall opened up, guys. I'm pretty certain he set the exothermic, and he never blew it. Well done, Observer. I'm not sure who's observing on the B stream today, but...
Medics, I believe.
It's Medics.
That's why it's so good.
It's the #1 obs in EU, I keep saying it.
You wouldn't get this back home in Australia with Sky, that's all I'm saying.
He is the GOAT. How lovely, Medics. But yeah, I mean, I think for Fnatic, it's so far going to script. If you've set the script yourselves as a team, we want to do this, you're following it. And that's really all you can ask for if you say this.
Yep.
SCARZ are going to find themselves a way to just claw in around it, even if they just scrap it. Even if it's just an awful scrappy round, you just got to start throwing haymakers.
Now, it should be noted, you don't lose additional bullets if you are on the receiving end of a flawless, so...
Yeah, it's just a gain.
Yeah.
So yeah, a little...
I love how we're only in round 4. We're still talking about it. But it does feel quite realistic at this point in time.
I mean, you kind of mentioned it before, right? If there's ever a map in a situation where you want to...
It's defense Sky.
It's defense Sky.
I'm beating down on a team that got beaten down the hardest yesterday of everyone.
BPC did spot the entry over towards Terrace, but it did get blown up by... Was Shoy? On the Flores. 60 seconds again, slow posturing from SCARZ, but they're getting themselves a little bit closer towards site this time. That's a positive. SCARZ, by the way, 6-0. He's about to do the opposite James Bond if he can find one more kill. And that drone being eliminated means there's only 2 remaining for SCARZ heading into the final 40 seconds of this 4th round. As I said, it's time to start throwing some haymakers if you're SCARZ. You're going to have to just do something. ROU goes out the back screen. That's the shield screen up, and they just fall like flies, hitting the bug zapper at the local barbecue. They are being toasted.
Bit of Brazilian BBQ.
Yeah, that's right. And Fnatic right now, they are chilling. I wouldn't be surprised if SCARZ pull a tactical timeout.
They already used it. They already used it.
He's on point, the old guzzler. Nothing gets past him. They are looking cooked right now. Fnatic are firing.
I wonder, do Fnatic, operating under the assumption that when the secondary site go 5-0 up, do they take the tactical then to confirm the tertiary kitchen defense, or do they hold it maybe for the first attack? For the full, like,
I don't think you take time out at all.
Or you just don't at all?
I just don't think you at all. I don't think you need to.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, it's a good observation, I guess. Like as to
I'm trying to just our job is to talk. I'm trying to find something interesting to talk about because the match
you
itself.
can talk about Fnatic. I think Fnatic have absolutely looked absolutely amazing so far.
No doubt.
They've done nothing wrong, and I think that's something that can. At times, you can kind of look at a match like this, and there'll be people who are like, "Well, it's SCARZ." It's very easy to just be like, "Oh, it's an APAC team, etc." Don't get it twisted. I mean, for Fnatic coming into this event, a lot of the talk was, is this a team that can do well enough in EU, qualify for events? Is this team at that point? And so therefore, I look at it and say, well, teams like SCARZ and teams like CAG, for example, they're still good enough on their day that they can contend with a team like Fnatic.
Yep.
Or at least that's the perceived nature of these particular matchups. And look, the reality is, I don't think APAC is good enough at attacking, let alone attacking into skyscraper defense, and we're seeing that firsthand. So it's really a kind of dream situation if you are Fnatic, that you're on defense Sky against a team that just doesn't know how to attack, and it's looking likely that 6-0 half could very well now be on the cards. But at the end of the day, you just got to play what's in front of you, and it's the way they're playing. These are not scrappy rounds. These are not close. It is dominant.
There's been one close round so far, which was the
2-3 second round. Yeah, and then even then,
they're still in a pretty commanding position, all things said.
As I said, SCARZ just need to start going for broke here. They need to just start trying to do things a little bit differently. Playing a little too slow, trying to play methodical siege, and that's fine. It's good fundamentals, but Fnatic are just playing it so much better. SCARZ has been really, really good in this game, but Jaxu continues his form from yesterday. That's the most important thing. It's not just yesterday was a one-day wonder for the new recruit onto this team. He's backing it up again today.
And intrigued to see how much impact Twitch has in this particular round. Last time out, Fish, like, I don't think got a ton of utility, and both drones were dealt with pretty easily by Fnatic. That being said, they did have the Solas in play that time of round, so hopefully he can be a little bit more effective on this occasion. We've only seen the Ying once from SCARZ back in the opening round, yet to see another appearance, and I thought that maybe that would be a selection that could help them open up these rounds as Washoy finds himself in an early engagement, but Groovy, a Nitro, able to find that. Washoy falls as well. There was a trade onto SCARZ, but he's only down. Meanwhile, Rek also in the grave. And the attack is pretty much over. You look down at your notes for about 10 seconds.
I literally was 5-5, looked at my notes, looked at some of the stats and the numbers. I was getting ready for the next time I'd come in, and I look up and it's 5-2, and now the round is over. Wow, this is a beat down of some epic proportions here. And for what it's worth, the A-Stream just finished their first match. We are about 5 minutes behind them now from finishing but our second match. Fnatic couldn't be playing any better. And that's really what you've got to take. Like, if I'm in the Fnatic bootcamp, it's not about our opponent. It's not about what our opponent's doing. It's about what are we doing. And Fnatic could not do anything better right now. And that's really good signs going into tomorrow. Now, of course, the match is not over, but it's a 5-0 start. SCARZ are running out of options and ideas. I don't know if they're going to be able to even win this tertiary side of Barbecue Kitchen coming up here in the 6th round, but... And to add some kind of positivity, there is a world SCARZ could get some defensive rounds themselves and bring this back to like a 7-3. We've seen that so many times before. Yeah. But again, from what we've seen right now, through the 5 rounds played, Fnatic are just destroying SCARZ. SCARZ haven't had a look into sight. They haven't even thought about a plan. This is just utter domination. I mean, SCARZ is 8-0.
Yeah, 2 flawless rounds. Rounds 1 and 4, as mentioned prior as well, rounds 2 and 3 with multi-kills, the Jaxu 3k, the SCARZ 4k. They're just being dominated in all facets of the game at the moment. They're struggling to even get the absolute basics done in terms of like hard breach, right? We've seen some really good Nitro play, etc. And even then, when they've had any small semblance of map control, they've been running into crossfires, being contested, Fnatic not missing anything really.
It's non-competitive at the moment from SCARZ.
Yeah.
This is bad.
I really did not believe this was going to be this one-sided.
Well, this is the final round. If you had said it's a 5-1 half coming into a match like this, I would have said, yeah, I can see that. Not ideal. I think SCARZ would have only wanted probably 2 attacking rounds. So to add further context to this, SCARZ probably only wanted maybe 2 attacking rounds. Now they can only get the 1, but if they do get the 1, at the very least, that's something, and then you go onto your own defense and maybe you can snowball. This is a match that is not over. Absolutely not. But it's looking very good for Fnatic. Can they finish the job? And if they do win this round, you get one singular opportunity for the 7-0 and the extra bullet to come with it.
No catch, and so Jaxu's position now exposed. The deployable shield taken down by the frag grenade from Fishlike on the Blackbeard, who can maybe look to spearhead things a little bit here with the shield.
Should mention, by the way, Falcons did end up winning on the A-Stream. I believe 7-3. Oh, that's a lot of players. And somehow, Fishlike is dead to Jaxu.
Oh, no.
How does he hit that headshot? He's full white, and all he saw was a bunch of players, and he gets the Blackbeard as well.
Yeah. Jeez. When it's not your day, it's not your day in Siege.
Oh, it's not your tournament right now, and that's Kit as well towards Blackstairs. What are you doing?
I think it's actually going to be flawless.
Oh my god, what am I watching?
I'm really glad Saith has mentioned that to me this morning.
Why? Why are you pushing Blackstairs with the Kit by yourself?
With no util. Yeah.
Can we get like someone in the corner, like in a boxing ring, throw the white towel? We don't even need a 7th round.
I think Jaxu gets another here.
Oh. Oh.
Ah, it was groovy.
Oh. Rek.
Dead.
Does get Jaxu another one.
There we go.
That's what we were waiting for.
10.
There was never any chance Rek was going to be able to clutch that in a 1v3. 6-0. What a flawless half from Fnatic.
But the job's not done, right?
Job is not done.
They're not going for a win. They're going for the flawless win, as we have reiterated plenty of times. So do you take
the tack time out and reiterate, if you're safe this and say, boys, this is it. You get one chance on attack. What are we doing and how are we doing it to get this flawless?
I mean, I probably would, but I'm under the impression that coaches can talk during these ban phases now, so I guess they get that anyway, right?
Yeah, okay.
Assuming I am correct in my assumption.
But again, you could extend that into an actual tactical timeout if you want. It is possible
if
here
you feel
for
the
Fnatic.
If you feel the need, yeah.
And also, do you ban for the 7-0? Like, are you just specifically thinking, we know we're going top floor, it's very likely going to be Tier Room Karaoke, our bans are going to make sure that they are weakest on that site? which, I mean, the Azami is just naturally a very good ban. What else do you get rid of here if you're Fnatic? Fenrir.
Yeah, Fen. Makes sense.
So no Monty, no Grim available for Fnatic. Looking for what would be our first 7-0 at reload. Again, to reiterate, you get an extra bullet if you 7-0, an extra 2 bullets, sorry. And that would put them up into 8 bullets, and that would be a huge skyrocket for Fnatic. They'd go actually from a team later tonight that would be, you know, middle of the table to one of the higher end seeds.
I wonder what kind of implications that may have on the draft as well this evening in terms of teams.
Well, they'd be leapfrogging a couple,
avoiding potentially Fnatic or maybe wanting to target them.
You've got teams that finished yesterday on 8 bullets that are going to come probably back down to 6, etc. So there's every world in which by the end of today, Fnatic, if they do flawless this, are in a top 8 position easily. So this is it. You get one chance to 7-0, get the extra 2 bullets. And look, these are some of the positives of this format that we have for Phase 1 at Reload. It just adds a little bit of that excitement.
You wouldn't get this at SI. That's all I'm saying.
You wouldn't get this over for a 7-0 because typically it doesn't matter if it's 7-0 or if it's 7-5. A win is a win, but in this instance you get more for a 7-0. So the incentive is there for Fnatic. This is full try-hard mode.
This gives us something to get excited about. I don't think we've ever seen a team try hard this hard for a 7-0.
I've never been this excited for a 6-0 into a potential 7-0. I feel like we're doing the SI Grand Final again.
maybe not. Maybe not quite that far.
Oh, I went a little too far. Could this be? Could this be the moment? The additional 2 bullets? Yeah, Jegs on the Deimos is going to be big and trying to obviously get some information. Already looking to put pressure over towards Makeup and Geisha, which is where Fishlike hides at the moment, in towards Geisha. 2 Nitro Cells available, so some big impact there for SCARZ to maybe find a pick, throw that out through a window, get someone. SCARZ have really just got to get this first kill.
Bomb located by attackers.
Yeah, opening duels have been a weakness for SCARZ thus far. Just the one so far. Can they bunker down here on defense? That's the question. Groovy and Jaxu have been able to manipulate themselves into a couple of nice positions here over towards the top of the back stairs. Pressure now beginning to mount. Long range duel with Fishlike.
Or
sees the feet through the footholes.
Pressure from SCARZ on the defense, trying to keep Fnatic at bay. And they get the opening kill onto Groovy. Just makes things a little more difficult for Fnatic, seeking that 7-0. Rack with a big kill onto Jegs, and now suddenly that 7-0 possibility is looking increasingly unlikely. SCARZ and Deepak with need a 2 versus 5 if they are to gain those extra 2 bullets. SCARZ have been able to do the job on the defense. Deepak does get one onto Rack, knows there's another still inside Acacia.
I'll be big from here. Otherwise, it's really going to peter out this match. So I'm going to continue to hype it up. 60 seconds. SCARZ walking into a cross.
Oh, he almost actually hit that shot, by the way, and lands us a bit of damage onto Fishlike in Geisha. Knows he's tagged up, but SCARZ very, very low. And the Zoto canister gets thrown out from Fishlike. You may as well at this point. You're so low on health. Continue to delay. There's only 40 seconds remaining in the round. SCARZ trying to do as much as he possibly can. Fishlike does go down. If you're Deepak right now, I'm telling SCARZ, just chill a little bit because he finds the kill onto Wushoy.
Come on!
34 seconds in a 2 versus 2. Fnatic seeking that 7-0. For the extra bullets, Azaya Gator and Choppy by themselves together inside a tea room.
You've got the APAC casters cheering against APAC, and they might do it!
They very well may indeed do it. Choppy, who's got 0 kills and may remain on 0 kills, matching the round score of SCARZ, and it will be a 7-0 flawless from Fnatic. A statement made in Rio.
That is the first time in my life, and probably the only time I will jump up and down. One for a 7-0 and second for an APAC loss.
I like this format. You wouldn't even think we're APAC casters. It's EU on top, baby. Look at Sathus, look at the boys. They are wrapped with that. They had a game plan. They said they wanted the flawless. They wanted the 7-0, and boy, did they get it.
I didn't believe in this one. I truly did not. I don't know how much of that was my APAC bias blinding me from this result, but he was right, 100%. From the very first moment of the very first round, they set the tone, they maintained that pressure, and SCARZ just completely fell into a heap.
That is incredible. By the way, on the A-stream, they're only still interviewing Liquifact. That's how quick this game was. We've just finished game 2. Oh, well, I mean, absolutely huge for Fnatic, because there's one thing to talk, there's another thing to back it up, and boy, did they. Unfortunately for SCARZ, though, what does this mean for them? Because this is their tournament looking absolutely shredded. What have they won? 1 round through 2 matches?
Yeah, really bad. Really unfortunate for them. Look, even at your best, attacking into Skyscraper in that first half is a challenge. It's really tough. But as I mentioned, Fnatic set the tone. SCARZ couldn't rise up to the challenge. The pressure continued to mount. Their tactical timeout was unimpactful, and they weren't able to correct on what they saw in the first instances of those objectives. And yeah, Fnatic just continued to not put a foot wrong. They were completely faultless.
I think for Fnatic as well, not only do you obviously get the extra 2 bullets, you've got 8 bullets now, but it's that win in that fashion that you've got to take a huge amount of positives from and say, okay, look what we can do when we're in sync. This is a team, of course, with 2 new players in. Jax, who's been incredible. I mean, what a debut for him over the first 2 days for Fnatic. And we haven't seen Fnatic at an international event for God knows how long. And they're performing, at least so far today. Of course, yesterday, they did end up getting a loss, but talk about a quick rebound, and they can take a lot from that game and saying, look what we can do. If we have our mind set on something and we execute, there's the proof in the pudding as to what we can actually achieve. Again, for SCARZ, though, now it's just a matter of where to from here, because quite honestly, I don't know what they do.
I think from here, they're probably going to be taking a flight home in the next couple of days, to be frank. I don't see day 3 being particularly fruitful for them. They just simply have not shown enough at this event. This roster is going to have to do a lot of rebuilding before stage 1.
Yeah, unfortunately for SCARZ, back to the drawing board for Fnatic, though. They will be sleeping very happy tonight. We're going to be heading to a break already. That's 2 games in the book for us. Only 1.
We're getting the quick ones. We're getting the quick ones at this event.
More games to come as well after the break. Don't go too far.